Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Skies of Arcadia, where last time we made our way here, to the edge of Yafutoma, and today we're gonna go meet the locals. So okay, just a mosey around their hilariously ineffective border wall, though, okay, as we heard previously, it's more just, a spot for lookouts to be, and here we flipping go. Yafutoma, and I love Yafutoma. Yafutoma is gorgeous and just really fun to explore, given it's made up of so many different islands. Anyway, let's just mosey over to a local. So, who are you guys? And how'd you manage to stay in the air with those steel ships of yours? I know who you are. You're Westerners! I've read about people from the West, but you're the first Westerners I've actually ever seen, so yes, Yafutoma and the rest of the world are sort of vaguely aware of each other, but this seems to be, the first time, at least in recent history, where the two have actually met. And as the chappie was implying, yes indeed, technology here works a lot differently. They don't have, big steel ships like we've got, but they do have the secret of flying much higher than we can get. So, alright, how about we mosey up to town and see what's going on in Yafutoma proper. And I do, by the way, just love the music here. The music here is just great. And the water is so clear, it's beautiful. I wonder where we are. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like we might be in Yafutoma. Keep up. And here we go. The Yafutomans have come down to say hello. That ship, it's so huge. Are these Westerners? They dress funny. Not everyone, though, is just, curious. Some people are not entirely delighted by my arrival. Invaders, why have you come to Yafutoma? And, yep, here come the flippy guards. So, okay, this is, understandable. There's probably a bit of a culture shock going on here. These lands are protected by Mount Kazai and the Blue Moon. Under the sovereign reign of Lord Mikado, invaders will be punished. And okay, we're not invaders, we're just like tourists, I guess, though, okay, I will admit, we are here to, get the Blue Moon Crystal, but, we're not gonna steal it or anything, promise. How dare you invade our lands? I shall strike you down where you stand. And wait, don't attack them. Alright, we got more guards coming in. Visitors, our primary responsibility is to defend Yafutoma. Please forgive our rush to arms. So, okay, there might be a bit of a panic going on because no one really knows how to deal with foreigners arriving. Lord Mikado has said he would like to speak to you. Please, if you would come with me. And for the time being, we teleport straight there. So, okay, we'll get to explore Yafutoma in just a second. So you come from the land where the sun sets. Welcome to Yafutoma. My daughter Mogi has always been intrigued with the West, haven't you, my dear? And yes, father, please, I would love to hear all about your homelands. Okay, so far, this is going pretty smoothly. By the sound of it, the ruler seems, reasonable. His daughter seems super interested in our homeland. Brilliant. And if there's anything we can do for you in return, just ask. And, okay, we probably shouldn't jump straight into, hey, can we have your sacred crystal and whatnot? But, okay, we'll get to that sooner or later. Ah, but not everyone is so keen to see us. In comes Kangan. King Mikado, as an advisor of the royal court, I must say, I'm opposed to the idea of foreigners entering our lands. So alright, not everybody's that chill. Foreigners have only brought us disaster. We must cleanse them from our lands immediately. I agree with my father. The Westerners can only bring us trouble. We should dispose of them at once, says Miraji. So, okay, few people in the royal court who are definitely not on Team Vice. They are our guests, and we must welcome them. They could teach us a great deal about the West, and there's much we can teach them as well. So, okay, me and Mikado, it seems like me and him see eye to eye, though we might need to, keep an eye on those other two. But I would like to know why it is you've travelled to Yafutoma. And we're searching for the moon crystals to prevent our enemies from using them to destroy the worlds. And the blue crystal, I think you're referring to the jewel that has the powers of the blue moon. The object that you are searching for lies underneath Mount Kazai. Here in Yafutoma, we refer to the object as the Margosphere. Mount Kazai is considered by our people to be a holy mountain, and deep within the mountain lies an azure-coloured jewel. Our ancestors passed the jewel to the successors of the throne. After the cataclysm, the jewel was sealed inside Mount Kazai. At one time, Mount Kazai was a volcano, and there is no known way inside. The Margosphere has been lost since the days of the Old World. If you were to retrieve it for us, we would be eternally grateful. So okay, me and the king, we've got a shared interest in going to get the crystal back, though... Yes, indeed. What happens to it after we retrieve it is maybe up for debate, given, by the sounds of it, it's pretty important to them too. Still, we'll deal with that bridge when we come to it. For the time being, we know where the crystal is, down at the bottom of a dormant volcano. So, right, go get that, it's a good step one. And with that done, we are now free to explore Yafutoma before we mosey on to our next destination. Just very quickly, hang on, I see you there, buddy. Grab myself a one moonfish, lovely, and... okay, seriously. Yafutoma is probably the prettiest area in the game. Just water everywhere, birds everywhere, beautiful architecture. I love Yafutoma. Yafutoma's great. And you know what's even nicer? Unlike every other town in this bloody game, they don't extort you for a hotel room here in Yafutoma. Oh no, now that we're guests and whatnot, they've laid on a guest room for us, so if you need some healing, you can just do it for free. So, that's the lovely guest house around the back of the throne room and whatnot, but okay, let's go explore the rest of the town, because there's a lot of really cool stuff here. And on top of that, a handful of people who might be interested in joining my crew. And if we just mosey down the ramp here, yes indeed, this is how you get around, given Yafutoma is made up of various different islands. There's all these cool little elevators that take you from point A to point B, because, bear in mind, we're under the blue moon, therefore blue moonstones everywhere, and blue moonstones control the wind and water. Hence, you know why there's little flying things everywhere, and on top of that, why there's so much water in town. And that's not the only thing in town either, because... there's also cicadas, who just wander around yelling cluck, 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 and I love them, and, looks tasty. No, it's cute. We're gonna comment how it's cute. This bird's kinda cute, don't you think? And kinda cute, right, like a parrot, they repeat what you say back to them, which means it's very lucky I didn't say it looks tasty, otherwise I'd feel really bad about myself right now. And hilariously, now that you've actually taught it that word, it will just remember that for the rest of the game, like it will never stop repeating that over and over, which I find delightful, so... alright, let's have a mosey about, because yes, we're now pretty free to have an explore around and, you know, engage with the shops, etc, etc, and, seriously, this town is just gorgeous. I love Yafutoma. But when I say you're like, you know, free to engage with the shops and whatnot, okay, most of the buildings are built onto the water, meaning you can't just walk to them. Instead, if you just have a bit of a look-see-roundy, you may notice right over here, yes indeed, a handful of small boats you can use to get around. So, right in front of you is a tub ship. You can get on and off at any dock. So alright, just hop inside and yes indeed, now we can move around in the water. So, okay, let's, you know, check out the buildings one by one. So, over in the corner we've got ourselves a restaurant and... sorry, not a restaurant, a tea house, my mistake. Thanks to Arala, we're the most popular tea house in town. I don't suppose you Westerners could taste the difference though, ha ha ha. So, okay, you didn't need to say that, that was rude. Now for the time being, there's not too much we could do with Urala. She simply, like, you know, asks us to come back and visit whenever we've got a spare moment. However, the other customer in the tea house does let us know. Urala has got a sister, Kirala, who's significantly more outgoing, so... alright, that might be something to keep in mind as we go forwards. Right, speaking of which, hop back into our lovely, lovely boat here and... okay, if you were paying a very close attention to the islands when we arrived, then you might have noticed one of the little things you could do in this area, which is, yes, that there waterfall is not something to be scared of or avoided. Because you see, that instead just brings us down to a brand new area down bottom. So just mosey ashore for a flipping second, have a quick poke around, and yes indeed, this area is still rather under construction. There's a duck and some ducklings, I approve, magnificent, and yes, you can just use this elevator to get back to where you were if that's what you want to do. But before we do that, just mosey over to here and speak to the builder. And here we go, Kerala, who we just heard about. So, you must be the Westerner they're all talking about. I'm Kerala, I'm the best builder in the country. So what do you think of our town? I bet you don't see such fine structures in your country. And you're right about that, or it's nothing special, and no, I think she's right, like Yafutoma architecture is just beautiful, and I love it. And yes, indeed, you're right about that. What a difference between seeing something and only hearing about it. You've got a really fine-looking town here. And you really think so? Well, it sure warms my heart to hear you say that. Say, maybe I should go back west with you and visit your country. I could probably show you Westerners a thing or two that would really amaze you, and she only offers to do this if you say she's a good builder. So make sure you say, yes, you agree. Otherwise, she's just not willing to join you. And you want this woman to join you, seriously. And here we go, Kerala has joined my crew as a builder. And that, in fact, was a brand new position, and seriously, Kerala is cocking amazing. So, she is a crew commander, not a passive ability one of the active ones, but her crew command is to completely top up your ship's health. Like, seriously, that is so good. Kerala is great, I love her. Like, in an emergency, she can very literally save your life. Still, just speak to the locals, and yes, we can start hearing a handful of rumours. So, Princess Mogi, who seemed interested in the West, apparently she's been really down in the dumps lately. I wonder if it's because she's worried about her brother. Goodness me, why am I rattling onto a visitor from abroad who I've only just met for the first time? Please pay me no attention. So, okay. We're hearing, a handful of rumours that there might be a bit of interesting trouble going on at the court. Okay, just take the elevator back up to, that lovely starting lake and whatnot. We've got a handful of locations to visit yet. For example, right by this tiny bridge here, we have got ourselves a mysterious switch. Turn that to naturally. The bridge can be raised or lowered. That would allow a boat to, get to the chest back there, but obviously that requires a tiny bit of setup. Because yes, right now raising the bridge also cuts me off from the boat. So, okay, hop in a boat, take a boat out to hang about. Over here, there's going to be, yes, a lovely spot I can, just park the boat for a second, because that way when we open the bridge, we can loop back around to the boat and actually get to the treasure chest. Magnificent. So this time, just a flick switch, a raise bridge, etc, and then just go back to the boat. Beautiful. And for that we get a moonberry. Seriously, I feel like I do not need a moonberry right now. We're fine on moonberries. It's all okay, I promise. Still, while we are out on the water, back to Urala. You were here the other day, weren't you? Welcome back. Excuse me, but would you happen to be Kerala's little sister by any chance? And yes, I am. Why'd you ask? I thought so. Kerala's decided to join the crew of our ship as a builder. We were wondering if you might be interested in joining our crew as well. And me, unlike my sister, I'm not good for anything besides cooking. And cooking is a perfectly good skill to have. How would you like to join our crew as our brand new cook? And sure, okay, if my sister's joining too. So, yes, Kerala needs to join first, then Urala will just join automatically. And there we go, we've now got Polly or Urala, and, okay, I'm gonna be honest, this one is not a difficult choice, because Polly's crew command replenishes a character's magic points, which is, one, pretty easy to do anyway, like, there's plenty of items that do that, and two, Urala's ability is, she maxes out your spirit point meter. So, like, if you've got a big turn coming up next turn, lots of critical turns and multiple moonstone cannon opportunities, Oh yeah, basically, we are never going to stop Urala being the cook. She is just vastly better than Polly. Meanwhile, back on dry land, one Cham right here just the far side of, yes, the bridge between the waterfalls. And then if we just speak to these two children here for a second. Come on, hurry up and get in. You said you practiced sailing in this tub ship. If you can't even sail a tub ship, you're never going to be able to help search for Prince Dago. Okay. So we heard there might be, you know, some sadness around a prince, and by the sounds of it, yes indeed. He is very publicly known as being missing. And then finally, a handful of shops to check out on our way past. The general store's got a nice back door that you may have seen from, yes, the water. So just nip here and we can basically rob this store and then buy stuff from them using their own money. Beautiful. So okay, top up, yeah, the best type of revival crystal just to make sure we can bring people back upright if they happen to fall unconscious. And go on then, just in case, yeah, Sacralin crystals. So basically a full guaranteed heal for literally anyone. In case they, like, you know, take a really bloody big hit and we want to get them straight back up to full health, it wouldn't hurt to have a handful of them. Honestly, they're pretty cheap. Meanwhile, as for the weapons store next door, number one, he can fill you in a bit about, yes, the Tenku who attacked you the moment you arrived. Tenku is the name of a gang of outlaws. They go around seizing weapons, spouting something about how bare hands are more powerful. You say you run into a Tenku, you're lucky you got away without losing your weapons or your life. So, alright, that's why they attacked us, but everyone here seems mostly chill. And then a handful of decent upgrades for, yes, our various characters. So tiny upgrade for Vise, nice upgrade for Enrique here, so not just in terms of power, but also a sword that can put people to sleep. And, yeah, just knocking people to sleep are very, very useful indeed. As for Aika, even though this weapon isn't going to, you know, give her bonus accuracy, like the wing we got off Grendel did, yeah, now she's got an accessory giving her plus 60 chance to hit. I'm willing to move her over, because, yeah, her weapon is just falling too far behind in damage at this point, and she's still going to be really accurate. And then on top of that, yeah, we're just going to increase the armor of her various companions, excluding Voice because his Berserker Mail is just too good to give up. Okay, that's all we can do in town proper, so just mosey down the stairs here. And that brings us back down to the docks, though, okay, while we're passing by, may as well, you know, mosey into the ship store because, okay, if there's one thing Yafutoma's good at, damn it, it's shipbuilding. Like, you know, their ships can do things that mine simply can't. And it's doubly good I nipped in here because, yes indeed, the ship part merchant is in fact joining us on our trip to Mount Kazai. Lord Mikado has told him to come along too. Still, before we go, right, let's look at his store, because this is a really interesting shop. He is selling stuff that is objectively vastly better than what we've got right now. But it comes at a cost, and I don't just mean the money. You see, this torpedo is really bloody good. Pretty accurate and very powerful, but the limit is lower, and the limit is how far away it can hit. So you've got less flexibility as to, you know, how easily you can load damage into one critical turn, because the torpedo simply can't be fired that much before the critical turn. And the same deal for the two secondary cannons. This one is powerful, but the limit is really low. This one, meanwhile, yeah, a little bit more powerful, but you lose a tiny bit in terms of, yeah, the spirit cost in particular. So, what I'm going to do is I will take the Serpent Torpedo because torpedo accuracy is a really, really big problem. But I'm going to go for the slightly weaker of the two secondary cannons, so the limit remains a 3 instead of 2. So, you know, we can basically fire this cannon for 3 turns. On the second turn, we launch the torpedo, and then on the critical turn, we fire the main cannon. So we can still load damage really effectively. Though, it's going to be bloody expensive with a spirit cost of 6. So it sure is bloody lucky we just recruited a crew member who can max out our spirit meter, isn't it? And okay, we basically burnt through all our money at this point, but 100% I'm buying 2 Yamoto spirit. Like, those are really good actually. Okay, that's some amazing upgrades in hand. Let's mosey on over to Mount Kazai, which is, yeah, very nearby. It's literally the large mountain in sight of town. So locating it's not a problem. It's just, getting to the moon crystal that's the issue. And here we go. This is why this guy's been invited along. I almost forgot, if we're going to go inside Mount Kazai, I better take this along. He's referring, of course, to the diving suit next to him because, yeah, the gimmick of this dungeon is, this being, the moonstone of wind and also water, we're going to be going underwater for part of it. And here we go, on this occasion, we're taking his ship. So, just round the corner, that's going to be, Mount Kazai, right flipping there. And seriously, just the entire Yafutoma section is so bloody pretty. I love this bit of the game. So, the water here is so calm, it looks like glass. It's hard to imagine this was once a volcanic area covered in lava at one time. And what is that thing? So, alright, a gigantic statue. It looks like a huge bird. That must be Blueheim. And for the time being at least, he's trapped in lava and encased in stone. So, okay, he's not getting out for now, but probably best we just go and grab the moon crystal anyway. So, plain and simple, let's mosey on inside and see what we've got to take care of here. And I will say, much like Yafutoma itself, this is a really bloody pretty dungeon with, glowing panels, etc, etc. So, okay. This place is, a bit of a ruin. Active volcanoes, flooded chambers, etc, etc. We might need to, find our way around certain obstacles, including, like we were just saying, water. Though the water's actually kind of a good thing, in fact, because yes, helps the dungeon pass by very, very quickly indeed. The reason being, while you're underwater, you can't be attacked. There's no random encounters. So, yeah, this is actually one of the shorter dungeons in the game, simply because there are less encounters in it. You spend some of your time underwater, where you're completely bloody safe. So, just keep on keeping on, and here we flipping go. If we just, give that a quick poke, then water just floods into this area, and slowly fills up the cavern. So, that fills up the water a tiny bit, but not quite enough yet. So basically, yes, we need to fill up this room with water. Okay, multiple ways we could go. Let's just, have a bit of a mosey round and see what we stumble across first. So, just head in this direction. And on top of that, yes, there will be some locals we need to take on too. Kicking off with, a handful of dogs who appear to have ambushed us. So, okay, I know you guys. A krill beast we ran into, yes, a slightly less terrifying version of you way back in, the sewers under Valois. Well, you know what? A quick rain of swords should deal with you guys and no trouble whatsoever. So, right, for the time being, nothing too dangerous, nothing we can't deal with. And yeah, just remember, we're dealing with a lot of blue enemies in here, understandably, though not all actually. It's not always guaranteed that every enemy inside a particular dungeon is going to be a matching colour or anything. But yeah, when we do face blue enemies, it's green and purple that are going to be doing the job. Which is kind of good, because particularly against tough enemies, purple magic is very strong. Still, just mosey to the next room, and yes, I think you could see straight away what we're dealing with here. Pretty simple, water movement puzzles. So, flood this room in order to make these blocks rise to get to the main switch. How do we do that? Go on foot, round to this switch to fill the room, etc, etc. So, yeah, like this dungeon's a pretty simple one really, it's just some very basic water manipulation puzzles. So, as we were just saying, hit this switch here, beautiful. That will flood the room, those blocks start rising up, and thanks to the underwater suit, we can just nip straight back out of the room, and we're guaranteed not to be attacked while we're doing it. So, just to quickly mosey back to where we started. And then just mosey across the bridge to the switch proper. Beautiful. Meaning back in the main room, there we go, the water moves up another level. So, right, now we just keep doing that, using the various rooms off the main chamber. Okay, mosey around to, yes, the other side of the dungeon, and I see we've got ourselves one underwater maze or something by the looks of it. Hang on, I see, a couple of ramps and whatnot. Okay, down into the water, let's see what's going on precisely. Because, right, we're going to be jumping down into the under region. Okay, we need to memorize what, yes, the maze under this room looks like, so we know which hole we need to jump down. Got it. So by the looks of it, yes, what I want to do probably is get to that door over there. And if I had to put a guess in, yeah, maybe that lovely hole right there would get me onto this platform. Then I could walk around here and get to that door. So, okay, the hole that is, yes, at that point in the room. Now, how precisely do I, like, get out of this room? Just need to find the way out first, damn it. Here we go. One side door should bring me back to where we started. Hang about. Okay, so back in this room, and this was where we dropped down last time. So there's another one that's right here. That could be the right one. The alternative being, yeah, there's one here a little bit further along. Hang about. Is that actually what I'm looking to land on? I think that might be the one, actually. Hang on, just looking down by the looks of it. If this is where I think I'm about to land, actually. Hop down here. I have successfully landed on something, so there we go. Right, so look down, and yeah, you can sort of figure out what it is you're about to land on. And there we go. There's switch number 2. Perfect. So, back in the main room, once again, we're just raising the water higher and higher and higher, and we're starting to make some good progress here, damn it. Okay, that should be this wing done, in which case, yeah, nip straight on back to the start. So, okay, basically just every branch off the main room. Lovely. I should also point out, by the way, yes, at this point in the game, once you start understanding what enemies do and don't do, there are many scenarios where you can literally just basically hard counter everything on the field when you're dealing with large crowds. So, yeah, right now what I'm dealing with is these krill beasts. They can only, yes, either attack or cast quicker on their entire team, which is fine. And these lovely slithers, they either attack or they do fire magic to hit the entire field. Meaning, in the event I just cast a Skull Shield combined with a Delta Shield, basically, there's nothing they can do to me. Literally, these guys cannot touch me. Which leaves Fina and Enrique free to just focus up. You guys just do your priority moves. Lovely, absolutely spectacular, in fact. So, yeah. That's a team completely safe, nothing they can do to touch me, and in just a second we will see. Here we go, one attack, does nothing. We get the counter guaranteed. You're cocky dead, beautiful. And here we go, lizards coming in with basic attacks as well. That's one of the things they can do. Hang on, some of you are going to show off and do some actual magic, right? No, you're just going to very slowly walk over to Enrique. Well, you're going to regret that, because Enrique's actually pretty on the tough side and using a purple weapon. And you're fire type, so basically, screw you. Okay, you're embarrassing me right now, but I swear these guys can do fire magic. There we go, he's trying to use Pyram. Brilliant. And we completely block it with Delta Shield. And there we go. Literally taken no damage whatsoever, with plenty of spirit to use my own lovely Rain of Swords after we're done. Once you start using utility moves to, really hard counter enemies on the field, the game becomes a lot more manageable, because if you just properly understand your foes, there's basically nothing they can do to you. Oh, and hello, sexy. I see a moonfish in this room, but right. For the time being, can't get to him. He's too high up. So, okay, we need to loop around to that balcony. Give me a second. Oh, and speaking of utility, right. Something very useful just happened, which is Ica just learned Sacrum. Because, we're in the Blue Temple. I've been using green weapons a lot. So, all of a sudden, yeah. Between fights, Ica can just dump 1,000 hit points on the entire party for a single magic point. Magic point she can regenerate using her own special moves. So, right, that's now a very easy, functionally free healing forever. Beautiful. Okay, just a mosey through this area. No actual puzzles in this area, by the way. Just basically a very long path to a whole bunch of enemies to fight. And there we go. The last watery McGibble activates. Lovely. Okay, so that fills up the room, but still no access to that balcony. Okay, I'm assuming we'll come back here later. I cannot remember off the top of my head. So, bare minimum, yeah. Now we filled up this room, we can now step into the water properly. And yeah, thanks to the fact this area is nice and water-filled, we can just hop off and float down to the bottom. Beautiful. Right, so down at bottom, we've got just a one way to go here. Marvellous. So, okay. Keep on keeping on. I suspect, yes, we're probably getting nearby to the conclusion here. And there we go, lovely. Straight into a lovely cave system. Now, by any chance, is this rope here going to let me, yes, clamber up to that lovely, lovely balcony? There we go, I flippin' thought so. So, right, grab you straight away. Good, make sure we don't forget you. And yeah, this would be a shortcut to get down to the bottom. But that's fine, we don't want to go down to the bottom. We were like, onto a good thing here. And, oh yeah. Oh, flippin' yeah. This looks like, an important sort of room here. So, okay, we've got, super awesome guys defending the space and whatnot. And they're not just for show either. Right, the Blue Temple is still guarded by aluspheres. So, Vige, you're going in first with a Cutlass Fury and, okay. Less than 2,000 health are not too difficult to take out. Drop a Crystales on you as well, see what that does, and... okay, a solid S move will do the job, but basic attacks are not so effective. And on top of that, you just punch Device in the face for not a bad amount of damage. And also, you can turn people to stone, lovely. Okay, Enrique, in which case I guess this one's on you. Just, crack out the Crystales just to soften them up a bit. So, right, these guys are very much like the Stone Guardians we ran into, yeah, back at Rixis. Gotcha. Like ancient robots that can turn you to stone. Lovely. Still, with the fight over, Vige recovers, so okay, we now know what we're dealing with there. Just watch out for, the stone status condition. So okay, one more puzzle to deal with here. So, right, we've got switches, we've got boxes. Let's just, give everything a quick poke. Hit you in order to, yes, drain the water. That gets me down here, so then I can move over to this one. Raise the water back up again. Now I'm going to be at the side of the room I couldn't previously access. So, okay. What precisely is going on? No. Now I'm at the top of the room. Right, this is a completely different bit of the room. So I can see that, yeah, I could potentially ride those ones back down. Before we do that, though, just make sure we know what's going on around the back over here. Okay, that brings me through to the next room along. But this room, yes, has definitely got some guardians embedded in the walls. So, okay, begin just randomly pushing switches. Why not? See if we can just, put those lovely guardians underwater. Marvellous. And here we go, just returning to, yes, that very first room. So, this puzzle was completely optional. Like, I could have just gone through the door, fought all those robots one by one, and just basically, brute force my way to the end of the dungeon. So, oh yeah, I always appreciate the opportunity to bypass bosses if I could figure out a smarter solution. Oh, and here we flipping go, having bypassed the Guardians, right. We have reached the sacred glowy blue chamber, and there's also a save point right here, so, okay, guess what's about to happen? Well, just mosey onto this here platform to take us in, and I guess we'll flipping find out. So, alright, just keep on keeping on, completely not suspicious, safe door in front of us. I guess we'll just, walk over in that direction. No trouble whatsoever flipping ever. And never cocking mind, it turns out that room's guarded. So, okay. Say hello to the Guardian of Mount Kazai. And I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm really sorry I'm about to be mean to you, but you are the worst cocky boss in the game, and anyone who's played this game agrees with me. Say hello to Tortigar, who is basically like, a tortoise, but made out of rock or steel or something. Basically, you can probably guess what he's very good at. Defense. He is completely 100% about defense, which makes him really cocky annoying to fight. But you know what? Let's just dive in and start, wearing him down a bit. Vise, just open up with a standard Cutlass at Fury. No, I can't. Don't guard. You know what to do. Power up Vise, please. It's kind of, one of your most important jobs. We'll also just toss a bit of magic at him. Let's see how that works. And one basic attack too. So, here we flip it go. Power up the team. Lovely. Magnificent, in fact. So, right. Everyone dive in. Start doing a bit of damage to the lad. So, okay. Fina gets to go, pretty early in the turn order on this occasion. Marvellous. So, okay. Tiny bit of damage, but he is defensively very strong. In we go. Whack him with Cutlass Fury. And yeah, even 2000 does not do that much. And basic attacks are doing nothing. On this occasion, he just comes in with a basic attack. Nothing too dramatic so far. So, okay. I'd say we need to, increase the amount of damage we're doing to him. In which case, we need to save up for a Pirate's Wrath. So, right. Continue using Cutlass Fury, just wearing him down. But honestly, at this point, probably the best thing everyone else could do is just focus. Like, you're not doing that much to him. So just, prioritize. And there we go. So, he just activated Steel Skin. Which basically means this turn, he's just declared, hi, I've got an everything-proof shield, screw you. It is very, very annoying that just occasionally he'll just decide, screw you, I'm just not taking damage this turn. So, Vise could go in and do whatever he wants and do his anime nonsense, but it kind of doesn't matter. Because it does literally zero. Basically, this boss just stalls out for a long time. It's incredibly irritating. Still, if we're lucky, he won't do it 2 times in a row. In which case, right, Vise, you actually get to do something new and exciting on this occasion. So, okay, rest of the team just, focuses up, etc., etc., but... Oh, come on, Vise. This is your moment to shine, Enrique. Stop getting in his way, and... here we go. And there we flipping go for almost 6,000 damage. And, okay, you might at this point be thinking, you know what, this doesn't seem so bad. He's like, going down pretty fast, all things considered. And, you know what, that's true. That is definitely true. But, okay. There's one thing he's not done yet. One thing he could do right cocking now, because I can't do another bloody Pirate's Wrath just yet. You see, right now I'm reaching for my healing items, because he just did a fair whack of damage with his magic, and, yeah, so unlike I think pretty much every other boss in the game, he's got access to healing magic too. This boss knows Sacralin, meaning he can just say at any point, hey, my health meter's full again now, screw you. As I say, this boss is very annoying. Like, so far, he's been pretty chill, and I'm kinda hoping that might last. So okay, Vise goes in for another attack. That means he's not using Steel Skin, but that's kind of scary, actually. He might be planning on doing some healing. But honestly, if we could just take him down in, like, 4 rounds, that would be amazing. You absolute cocky dick! Right, so there's Sacralin. I hate this boss. I hate him so much. Right, there is one other potential solution here. And that is stone. He's not immune to stone. So we're just going to spam Lunaglyph over and over again and see if maybe we could get lucky. So okay, he's not activated Steel Skin, which is good. Hit him with a Lunaglyph. It's going to do like no damage. But that's kind of not its point, to be honest. No, its point is just to, stone him if we get lucky. Okay, that's another cocking of 5,000. So he's back down to like, not much health already, which is brilliant. That's fantastic news. But he might just, use Sacralin again. I'd never actually thought of this before, but I wonder if he's immune to silence. Like, I could literally silence him to stop him doing his cocking magic. that might be workable, actually. Right, Vice, you just keep wearing him down. That's all absolutely a-okay. Ica, you must know, yes, Silensis, that only costs 2. Continue trying to stone him at the same time. Please tell me this could work, by the way, because I've never tried silencing him before, and no, it's a miss, and probably he's immune to it. Like, it would be strange if, you know, magic-casting bosses could just be prevented from doing magic, but if we're lucky, either we stone him, or one more round will do the job. Come on, just stone him. Just turn him to stone. Yes! Okay, that's the solution. It may be an oversight, you know, when they were making the game or whatnot, because most bosses can't just be stoned, but, yes, this one can be. So screw you, he was one type of stone, now he's a different kind of stone. And now we can basically just wail on him. And down the most annoying boss in the game goes. Seriously, he's so irritating to fight. I do not like this boss, damn it. Still, that does get us one rather cool sounding drop, the Moonlight Robe. Okay, solid defensively, also comes with, yeah, fair whack and dodge. So, I feel like that's gotta be for Fina. So, this is the blue crystal. We finally found it. So, seriously, it's taken us a long time to get to crystal number 3. Like, it's been a while since we got the green one. There we go. Fina gets to add it to her collection. Or to be precise, of course, no, she doesn't. Bear in mind that we could theoretically just at this point hop in our ship and leave. No, we promised we were going to retrieve this for King Mikado. Negotiating him handing it back over to us, that could be a bit more tricky. But you know the best thing of all, which is, remember Vise and Ika's incredibly dumb secret handshake dance? They've decided that they're going to include Fina on this occasion. Fina's not sure about this. I'm not sure Fina wants to be involved in the incredibly dumb secret handshake dance. Don't worry about it, just give it a try. And here we go. Dharma high five. And the job is done. Not Enrique though, he doesn't get to be involved. So with that done, we've got the blue moon crystal. But as I say, our business in Yafutoma is not yet complete. As we've very much been hearing about over and over, there's some court drama involving a missing prince. So, yes indeed, we might need to dig into that a bit deeper, and that is what we'll be doing next episode, so hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Skies of Arcadia. Thank you very much, and goodbye. If we just hide the bodies, nobody needs to know about this. Yes! My stupid plan has worked! It turns out I'm a genius! The giant rat scorpion is not gone! Oh, hang on, there's more yet though, I'm still being very shocked. Guys, where's the NCR? Nobody needs to know.